Hello and welcome to this channel. My name is Emma and this is my knitting podcast. I hope that you are well and that you have something creative that you can do when we spend this time together. And today I have some knitting. I have 2 finished objects and I also have 1 sewing project. So let's start with the finished objects with knitting. I will finish with the sewing part because not all of you are interested in sewing, so I'll end with it. And my first finished object is the one that I'm wearing, and this is the Cameo vest by Orlane Sucche, the beige, and I knitted with Brusca from Retrosaria, and this is the yarn. And this is a Portuguese yarn. It's a blend of Saloia and Portuguese Merino, and it's a decay weight yarn, non-super wash. Really lovely to work with. I really enjoyed it. It blooms quite well. It makes a really nice fabric once it's blocked, and it becomes super soft once it's blocked. So this pattern is a bottom-up project, and it's really easy because it's really easy to remember the cables, when to start the next arrow, if I can say it like that, and also the, I don't know how to call it, but the little stitch here, it's also easy to count and to know where to start the next one. So easy to do. There are a lot of different steps in this pattern because it's a bottom-up project, so we need the body back and forth, and then we have to separate for the front and back. And so we knit a front, we knit another one, we put them on hold, and then we knit the back, we sew the shoulders together, and then we have to pick up for the armholes, ribbing, and then for the button band and for the collar. So there are a lot of steps, but easy ones. So I think it's a good pattern to knit kind of mindlessly if you're an advanced knitter, and if you're a beginner, I think it's good not to have all the cables to start with, but I think it can be quite a nice one to work on that is not too complicated. I'm really happy with the finished object. The only thing that I need to do is to reblock especially the top part. I think I blocked quite well the bottom of the vest, but for the top here, as you can see, the ribbing is not really straight because I didn't block it long enough, and I think I should just like go until here, and I think this would be perfect. And I wanted it to be long enough, large enough, so I could wear button-up shirts underneath that can be quite large or have large sleeves. And I need the size 2 also because I wanted to have a vest that would be larger than the ones that I already own. And so I think with my bust circumference I could knit either the size 1 or the size 2, so I chose the biggest one between the 2. And I think that's it for this one. Oh, and I still need to put some buttons, but I don't have any. I looked in my stash and I have a few ones, but I wanted to show you this one. This is the right size, and I do like this one here. I don't know if you can see it properly. So this is like a sage green, and the size is the right one. Don't know, I think maybe I can put it on this one here. Maybe if I hold it like this, you can see a little bit. So I think it's the right size, so that would be perfect. But I love this color, but I don't think it goes really well. Well, it goes well with this vest, but it's not what I had in mind. And I think I would prefer to have a wooden button. I have those ones, but they're too big, so I want smaller ones. But I think that wooden buttons would be a bit nicer with this type of vest and yarn. So I have to buy some. So that's why I haven't put them on yet. But I've been wearing this vest already. But it needs a little bit of finishing still. So this is it for this vest. And my second finished object is a long-term one. It was at the bottom of my bag. And those are some, no, it's not this one. Did I take them? Yes. And those are some socks. Still have some needles in the bag, and those are some socks that I made for my partner. I started them a year ago. And so those are the socks, and it took me so long to knit them because I made him a jumper many years ago with this yarn, which is a sock yarn, superwash merino and nylon, and with this yarn as a contrasting color, and he wears it a lot. And so I had 50 grams left of the brown color, of the main color, and like 16 grams I think of this speckled white yarn. And so I thought that it would be perfect to make him matching socks with his jumper. And so I made the sock, so I wanted to have the same design as the jumper, so I made some Latvian braids here at the top. I didn't make this part at the beginning, and then I knit the sock with the contrasting heel, and I wanted to make the contrasting toes too. But I realized arriving here that I wouldn't have enough. I didn't have more brown yarn, and I wouldn't have enough of the contrasting color to finish the whole toes. So I kind of got stuck there because I didn't really know what to do, and also I still offered them to my partner just to show them to him and to know what he thought about them. And he said that he really liked them, but that they were too short for the leg. I knew that. And because it wasn't like shorty socks, because it had the Latvian braids, it was kind of in an in-between length, which I could understand wasn't really practical. Like, you couldn't wear them in during the summer, and it was also not long enough for winter. I think it's a little bit bright, sorry, I'm just change a little bit, yes. And so anyway, all this to say that it took me a bit of time, a lot of time, to actually know what I was going to do. So I looked for some sock yarn in my stash that I still had, and I didn't have any that looked similar, so I took one that was a bit in between. And I didn't want to buy a whole new ball of yarn. I didn't want to buy this one again because, well, it's superwash yarn, and I started knitting with non-superwash yarn for socks, and which I liked a lot better, and my partner too. So Anyway, so I looked through my stash and found this yarn. He said it was okay, so I knit the toes with it. Then the toes were too long. I did anatomical toes, that's why they look like this. And so it took me a long time to actually measure his toes to do the right length for the toes. And then I needed to do some grafting here because I cut here to actually knit again to knit more length to the leg, and then grafted here, and this is the perfect length. So this is all good, and I finally finished them. I had a lot. I still have them. Oh, no, I don't. I was going to say I weaved all the ends in, but I think I didn't have any scissors with me at that time, so I just left all the all the bits of yarn. But I just have to cut them, and they're done. And I have the second one here, which is still like this because I needed to cut the the ends. But they're done, and I'm really happy with what I've done with them because he's gonna be able to wear them. They're not as nice as what I could imagine without this part here, but it's okay. At least he's gonna wear them, and they fit perfectly. The only thing is the top here, oops, is a little bit too tight. It's very stretchy, but I think that the next time I do that, I will have to cast on more stitches and then decrease, because it's always a little bit tight for him, even with a really stretchy cast on. And so this is it for this pair of socks. Now for the works in progress. I'm thinking I'm going to start with, I'm looking through my bags. I'm just going to show you this one. I think I'm in the middle of the row, but this is the Wrap and Wrap shawl by, yes, I'm in the middle of the row, sorry. But by Soho, that I'm knitting in Holst Garn Supersoft. Do I have? Yes, I have the colorway, and I just wanted to show you I made a little bit of progress on it. It's something that I showed it in the last episode or in the one before. I can't remember, but I've knit this. So it's a 2 colors shawl. So this is the yarn I'm knitting it with, and the colorway is Tundra, and it's 100% wool and non-superwash wool, and it's a light fingering white yarn. And so I'm knitting the larger size because I really wanted to have a big shawl that I'm going to use as a kind of as a blanket, and we could, like, the whole family could get under the blanket. So that's why I'm knitting the biggest size, and I'm just like knitting on it slowly, and I figured I would need like about a year and a half to knit it, and I thought it was nice because it's really easy. It's in garter stitch back and forth with short rows to make a triangle, and this is the second color, and it's the colorway Oatmeal, and it's the same yarn. Now for my next work in progress, I have here, how can I show it to you, like this. So this is the Timeless Cardigan by Manmi Choi. Let me check. Yes, Manmi Choi. And this is what it looks like. we can't see a lot because I have really small needles, and this is the yarn here. And let me see if I have a whole skein here. So the yarn is Bouclette here. This, and so yeah, and it's called Le Purl, which is a yarn from Belgium, and it's 100 grams for 300 meters. So for me it was a sport weight yarn, and so I figured, like, I bought it thinking I would make the how is it called? It's a tee from Petiteknit, but I wanted to make it with long sleeves, but then I couldn't get gauge, and I realized that it was more of a DK weight yarn, and yeah. And the colorway is marine, and it's hand-dyed yarn, so you can see it on the yarn because it's not completely, the color changes a little bit, which I really like, and it's a very rustic yarn. It's a blend of Ile-de-France and Texel. And yeah, and it's a top-down cardigan, really classic cardigan. So we start with the back, with the two fronts, and then we join underneath the arms, and then we knit straight. And it's a rounded collar, quite high. And I wanted a rustic yarn for this one because I wanted something quite structured and not so flowy, and this is quite what I expected, so it's really nice, except that I realized I don't really enjoy this project. At some point I only had this one. I kind of forgot about my Camillus blouse that I was working on, and I still had the wrap and wrap shawl, but I didn't want it to be like my only project, and so I only had this one, and I kind of stopped knitting. I wasn't knitting at all because I just didn't enjoy this, and I thought, oh, I just have my needles are too small, so I'm knitting it on needles, on 2.5 millimeter needles, and because I'm quite a loose knitter, and I realized that if I go with a rustic yarn that is quite sturdy, I tend to break my needles if they are interchangeable. So I took the Xiaogu but fixed needles, and this is the length of the cable that I have, so I have to buy another one, so it could be easier to work on, because since the yarn is a little bit stiff, it's a bit hard to work with it and to work on such a small cable, because the yarn is all bunched up. So that's kind of why I stopped, when I really like the project, and I think I really like the finished object, but I realized I wasn't enjoying so much working on it. So I stopped just because I wanted to try working on it with a bigger cable. But this is where I am, and sorry you can't really see it well, but yeah, I've done this here. Sorry, the light is changing quite rapidly, so and this is where I am, and now I'm just going to knit back and forth until the bottom of the cardigan. Then the next work in progress. Since I had this one, I really wanted to start another one that I would enjoy a little bit more. And we had a little bit of a drama because I lost my toddler's cardigan. So I didn't make him a ton of clothes because he doesn't need that many. So I made him a cardigan. My mom knit him a jumper with thick yarn, and I knit him a jumper with fingering weight yarn. And so he had those three and it was perfect. The cardigan that I made him was the Calendula kids cardigan from Sandra Magalhães. And I knitted in the yarn Duro from Rosario's Quattro, which is a Portuguese yarn. I held it, it's a fingering weight yarn, so I held it triple, and it was just perfect. He wore it all the time. I made the size 3 to 4 years old, and he could still wear it next winter, and I think even maybe the next one. Because it was quite big, but it was so sturdy. The yarn didn't move at all. It didn't stretch, it didn't peel, and it was still really soft. Like soft as a non-superwash yarn. It's not merino superwash, but I don't really like the feel of it anyway. And so it was just perfect. And I found this yarn in my local yarn store, but the owners changed, and so they don't carry this yarn anymore, and so I can't get my hands on this yarn anymore, which I was really sad about, because this yarn was just like, for me, it was just a perfect yarn for many different garments. So I was really sad about it. It was a green that I really liked, that was a bit bright but not too much. It was just, it went with everything. Anyway, I lost it on the way home from school. I can't understand how this happened, but yeah, like my partner went back the next morning when I realized it. My partner went back to school, looked everywhere, did the way back home really slowly, looking everywhere if it wasn't, like if maybe someone hanged it somewhere. He went to the park, he went everywhere, couldn't find it. And I know I took it out of school. So I decided to make him another one. Not with the same yarn, I couldn't, but I found a long story, but I was really sad to lose this cardigan that was just so perfect that I can't knit again and exactly like this. So yeah, anyway, I found some Fivel yarn from Rauma, and I found it secondhand, and so with the number of balls that I had, I decided that I bought it because I knew I could make a cardigan or jumper for my toddler. So I bought it, and so I had 3 balls of this grey, which is, so this is a DK weight yarn, non-superwash, and the colorway is 300, and the other one is 402 for this kind of dark blue. And I had a bit more than 3 of this one and a bit more than 1 of this one. So I decided that the gauge that I would get with this one, I could make again the Calendula kids cardigan from Sandra Magalhães, and that I would make some stripes on the body with this one. So I made lots of calculations to see how much I would need of this one to make the stripes, to make 1 stripe for the body and for the arms. And so I calculated how many rows I could make with the blue one. And this is the cardigan. So it's a top-down cardigan. I modified a little bit the pattern because normally in the pattern we start directly with the ribbing, which I didn't do. I started with the body and then I will pick up the stitches for the collar because I want it to be a bit more sturdy. And so if I pick up the stitches, it will last longer. I think it won't stretch so much. Sorry, I have lots of ends. And I also added short rows to lengthen a bit the back. So here is what it looks like. I finished the top part, so it's a raglan cardigan, and then finished the first here, the first stripe, and I'm knitting the grey part again. I'm going to knit 3 stripes. I'm going to make the same ones on the sleeves and make the grey part a little bit longer for the stripes than the blue ones. And yeah, I really enjoy this yarn. It's the first time I'm working with this yarn and I really like it. It seems that it's gonna be quite warm, sturdy, maybe not as much as the duro, but and it's still quite soft. And I had one more thing I wanted to say. I can't remember. But yeah, now I'm just going to knit the body straight with the stripes, and yeah. And those colors are nice, but I felt they were a little bit dull, like not really joyful. So I thought that I could embroider something on the grey part here, on the front or maybe on the back. And I asked my toddler what he wanted, and he said some bees and maybe some flowers. So I'm going to embroider some bees and flowers on it, and it's gonna be more joyful cardigan than this, like very, like, this is not colorful at all, so even with the stripes. So I think it's gonna be a bit nicer with the embroidery. I've never done it on wool, on knitted garments, so it's gonna be a first time, but I think it's gonna look really nice. It's gonna take a long time, and I think that when I will do it, I will be like, oh, why have I told him that I'm going to embroider some bees and flowers? But I think it's gonna look really nice, so I think I will be glad to do it. And my next work in progress that I have is also a new one, because I had to do a lot of calculations with this one, and so I wanted to have another one at the same time. And so I started a Lulu Slipover from Petiteknit. Because I don't have enough slipovers. I don't know. This one is going to be a bit different. I wanted a lounge one too, and maybe if I remember when I edit it, and if I have the time, I will put a picture somewhere here so you can see how it looks like, but I'm just at the beginning of it. Here, this is the back, and I just wanted to show you the yarn I'm using. So this is Holst Garn. This is, I'm holding 2 yarns double. This is Supersoft. And do I have... Yes, I'm going to show you, to tell you the names of them, of those 2 yarns. And this is, no, actually this one I can't remember, sorry. This is Petiteknit, which is 100% alpaca, this one, and this one is 100% wool. And so, oops, I lost it. This colorway is slate grey, this one, for the alpaca. I didn't want to use mohair, I really wanted to use alpaca. I wanted to be drapey enough with, combined with this wool. And this one, the Supersoft, is Oxford. And I have to say, I thought that both of them would have the same color, and I imagined it to be a bit more like this one, like really dark grey. This one is a bit lighter. I don't know if you can see it well on the camera, but it's a bit lighter. This one is kind of more, it leans towards black with a bit of a blue. It's not blue at all, but like it's more rich. But it's still nice the way it looks like. And so it's a top-down construction like this. Sorry, we start with the shoulders at the back. If you can see it here, we've got, so we cast on, sorry, it rolls a lot so it's hard to show, but we cast on the stitches here, and then we make the increases on the sides here. So it's gonna be on the, at the back, we're gonna have the back line here, well, the shoulder line at the back. And now I'm just knitting it straight. I'm about halfway through the top of the back now. And this is the fabric that it makes. Really nice with the two yarns combined. And then I'm going to do the increases for the underarm, and then pick up the stitches for the front. And yeah, so that's it for this one. Not much to say. I really enjoy knitting with this yarn here. Really nice. And this is it for knitting. And I do have one project. The next one that I'm going to start is, I'm just going to show you because I have the yarn here. I should have taken it. It's okay. I have knit a doll for my toddler. It's the Old Folk doll from Sandra Magalhães, and he started to really play with it a lot more a few weeks ago. Until then, he has two other dolls, but plastic ones. And until now, this doll, the one that I knit him, he was using it as a toy for his dolls. And so he liked it, but it was not his doll. Anyway, so now that he started playing a lot more with it, he told me he would like a second one. And so he brings it a lot with him. And he's got a walking bike with a seat at the back where he can put his dolls. So he put this one on his seat, and it's really cute. And so I wanted to make, I will put a picture here of the doll that I made, and I wanted to knit another one with this yarn here. This is the same one that I used for the first one, just in a different color. The first one I made it in a cream color, and I've got different shades of cream, brown. This is an in-between. I have darker brown too, to make other ones. So this is the next project. I just don't have any cables left, and I knitted on 2.75mm needles, but I just don't have any other cable. So I need to buy one. Because I will always run out of cables, so I need to buy another one to start this one. And that's it. And make some more clothes for the doll too. Now for the sewing project. So I made a dress from Sew Liberated. It's the Hinterland dress. I put the pattern thinking that I could make different dresses, because it's a very versatile pattern, so we could make it sleeveless with short sleeves, long sleeves, with the button placket, just a part of it, full placket, full length placket, or no placket at all. And I think it's really easy to modify it to make a v-neck or something like that. Anyway, so I bought this fabric, which is just cotton, and it was quite nice. It's thin enough to be really comfortable in summer, in like all year round, really. The only thing is that it was the white part was see-through, so for the top part it was okay, but for the bottom I had to put another layer underneath. So I didn't finish the dress yet, but I put another layer of white fabric that I had, but it's a little bit thick, so it makes the dress quite heavy, which is a bit of a shame, but it's okay. I haven't finished it because I need to sew the buttons here. I made a button placket, just half of it for the top. I'm going to sew those wooden buttons. I think they're going to look quite nice. I don't know if you can see. And I made the size 4. I didn't modify anything, made the size 4, and that's it. The thing is, I could have made with my bust circumference, and since then for the hips it's quite large, I should, if I measure, like based on my measurements, I should have done a size 4 for the bust, size 2 for the waist, and size 0 for the hips. Since it's really large and very flowy around the hips, I thought, I don't care, it's okay to make a size bigger. For the waist, we have those how is it called? Waist tie. So it's okay if it's a bit larger around the waist, and also I wanted to be able to pass the bust. If I made the waist too small, I wouldn't be able to pass my bust. But really what I should have done was the size 2 and make a full bust adjustment. I didn't want to do that with this fabric. I didn't want to do that for the first one that I made. I'm going to make it for the second one, for sure, because it's just a little bit tight around the bust, and here, and it doesn't fit perfectly, so I have to make a few changes. I can see that the bust darts here are not big enough, so I have to change that. And yes, otherwise loved this button, really. It's such a nice one to make. It's easy, but it takes a lot of time. Because we have lots of different parts, especially because I made this front placket here. And so we have the buttonholes. It's not long to make, it's automatic with my sewing machine. But then we have the sleeves. I think the only thing that could be a little bit hard, especially for a beginner, I'm not really good at sewing, but I've sewn a few garments already, so the sleeve, it's okay. It just takes a bit of time just to find the right place for the fabric, for the two fabrics together, because the one for the sleeve is a little bit bigger than the one for the body to have enough room. And so this is just the fiddly part, but for the rest of it, it just takes a bit of time, a lot of time, but it's easy. because we have the gathers here, so it takes a bit of time, the plackets and everything. I didn't put any interfacing here because I didn't have any, so I really have to buy some for the next one, but for this one I didn't really care. We have the pockets, which are just so nice to have in a dress or in any garment. We have the ties on the side. I'm not sure I'm gonna make them in the next one. I don't know. I do like the fact that it makes the waist nicer, but then I'm not sure I want to have a big bow at the back for all my dresses like this, so I have to think a little bit of what I want to do. Maybe make full placket at the front to actually be able to make a size 2 or 0 for the waist. Not sure how we can do that, to have a small waist but still be able to wear it, to pass it through my bust, so if I can open the buttons at the front it's easy to put it on. So those are the small adjustments that I need to make. And yeah, overall I'm quite happy with it. The only thing is that I made it to pattern, so I didn't change anything, and I didn't change the length of the skirt, which is quite long. I imagined I made the full size. I think it's midi length as it's called. I'm not sure about that. And it's below my knees, so I want to shorten it. I don't know if you can see here. It's quite long. So I want to shorten it to have it just above my knees, because that's the length I like my my dresses to be. And otherwise I tried it on really comfortable, just a bit tight around the bust, but that's okay. And yeah, I can't wait to wear it. I just have to actually sew the buttons on and then sew the bottom of the dress. I just had to measure how long I wanted to shorten it, and that's it, and then it will be done. And I really want to make another one in linen, and I have a few fabrics here that I want to use. I'm looking in my stash. I have especially 2 fabrics that I want to use. 3 actually. I'm going to show them to you. Okay, I lied. I have a few more than just 3. I'm going to show them to you, but those are really nice fabrics that I bought. I didn't really have any pattern in mind, which I did a lot. Now I really want to use them before I buy more fabric. So I have this one. This is a lot brighter on camera than in real life. It's more like it's a fox color, I have to say. Yeah, I don't know if I can see it. You won't see the real color, but this is too orange on the camera. And I really like this, and this is double gaze, so 100% cotton, and I think it's gonna be so nice to wear. I already have a dress that I sewn in double gaze, in kind of burgundy, and it's a Myosotis dress from Toronto, and I love this pattern. And so I thought I could make another one like this, but a Hinterland dress. And it's one of my most worn dresses, so yeah, I have 3 meters, so I have enough. Then this one, I absolutely love it. This is 100% linen. It's just like beige color linen, and it's, if you can see, it's not the color is, as you can imagine, linen, and I love it. It's quite heavy, but I think it's linen. it's really, really heavy. I have 3 meters too, so I have enough to make a dress, and I think that if I don't make it too long, I can make a dress and another shirt with it. And I love it, but I can't remember where I bought it, and so I can't buy more of this exact one, and so I really want to ensure that I make the right garment with it. Then this is also 100% linen. It's a little bit bright on the camera too, but it's a bit more pink on the camera when it's a little bit more red in real life. And this is 100% linen too, and it's not as heavy as the other one, but I think it will make also a perfect Hinterland dress in linen, because I think this is one of the best fabric. Then I also have this one, which is also 100% linen, and this is a white one. I made a shirt already with this one. I had 3 meters, and I made a shirt when I learned how to sew, and the color is not really well done. It's a bit large, and the color is a bit large too, and it's not the most comfortable one in the shape. It's the pattern. I don't even think I took a pattern. I just measured it, cut it, and that's it. Did I make bust dots? I'm not even sure. So I would like to remake it, reuse the fabric because I'm not wearing it, but this, I think I still have enough to make a dress. And then the last one that I have that I'm not going to use like really straight away. I've had it for a bit of time, and this is 100% silk, and it's kind of a cream color, and so I'm waiting to perfect my Hinterland dress modifications, let's say, to actually sew this. So this is not going to be the first one that I make. Maybe I'm going to start with this one just to perfect it, to ensure that the fit is good, and then I'm going to make it with linen. And with the double gaze, I have to make sure that I make it long enough because it shortens once washed. That's what I had with my other one. So yes, those are my sewing plans. Lots of plans, not enough time. But, well, that's life. But I'm glad I started sewing again because I really enjoy it. It does take a lot of time, but I really, really enjoy it. And I enjoy the finished objects too. And I really enjoy wearing what I made. And so having sewn garments is really nice. I also want to make some linen pants, but for pants it's a little bit harder for me. So I'm going to stay with dresses at the moment and need maybe 1 or 2 more Hinterland dress at the moment. And yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed this episode and that you were able to do something that you love at the same time while watching. Something crafty, maybe. And I will see you next time. Bye!